Why, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, Comic Kid Guru, coming at you for the first time in my first ever podcast. This is the Comic Kid Guru Show, and I hope you will all enjoy. Just as a starter, I would like to give a big thanks to my dad. Without him, I would not be able to do this. You know, he paid for my mic, my computer, all this hardware that I have. You know, he motivates me every day to be what I want to be, and I can't thank him enough for everything he does for me. He brought this idea to do the podcast in my head because, I wanted to do a gaming channel. You know, I wanted to have a gaming channel. I wanted to get a capture card with a mic and all this stuff. But he thought that, you know what, it's not me. And I have a better time talking, viewing my opinion on everything rather than playing video games and screaming. Because that's kind of like what I would do. And it really wasn't me, to be fair. So I got to thank you, Dad. Dad, I know you're listening to this. So seriously, thank you for everything. I love you. Now, with all the emotional stuff out of the way, today on this show, we're going to be discussing basically what happened at Comic-Con. You know, there was a lot of trailers at Comic-Con. There was some new figures that were unveiled at Comic-Con, which I know some of you may not be into that, but some of you may be. I'm going to give my thoughts on Westworld, Game of Thrones, Dark Souls, and Dunkirk. Oh, and the new It trailer also. I'm going to kind of talk about that for a little bit. So that's basically how this episode is going to go, so stay tuned. I'm sure you'll all love it. Maybe some aspects you won't, but I'm sure most of you will. So, starting off, we'll talk about the Justice League trailer for Comic-Con. Now, I'm kind of at a crossroads with the latest DC movies. I believe it's called the DC Extended Universe. I hate Man of Steel with a burning passion. I hate Man of Steel. I hate the Superman. Batman vs. Superman came out, and I have to admit, I like the Bale Batman. Okay, I think he's a good Batman, and his fighting style reminds me of the Arkham games, which I love. So I gotta admit, I like the Bale Batman. Sure, and some of this, it kind of looks like he kills a good amount, but in reality, Man of Steel sucked, and Batman vs. Superman, about half the movie sucked, and maybe the other half was above average at best. So I really don't know what to say about DC. Suicide Squad, in my opinion, was horrid. Jared Leto Joker, that's another iconic comic character that completely got ruined. This time not by Zack Snyder, but by acting and not caring about the source material. This Joker tries to act ghetto. He tries to act like a gangster, and in some aspects, yes, the Joker's a gangster, but he's an old type of gangster. He's not this new thug. He's not a thug. He's not. You can't be cool, I guess. It's the same old crap, But then this new trailer came out, and I have to admit, this trailer kicked ass. This trailer was great, I'm not sure who Steppenwolf is, really. I don't follow Justice League that much. I know somewhat about Justice League, but not that much. I'm more of a... It looks good, It looks like it's not taking itself too seriously like Batman vs. Superman. It looks like it's going to be a fun movie, you know what I mean? It looks a little bit Avengers-ish. It looks a little bit like that. Because I can't... Oh no, Thor Ragnarok's coming out before. So then in reality, Black Panther will be the last movie before Infinity War, because Black Panther is set to release February 16th, 2018, and Thor Ragnarok is November 3rd, 2017, and Infinity War is May 4th, 2018, so looks like it's going to be a good set of months for movies, man. Really looking forward to it. Anyways, so I think it should be a really, really rad movie. It looks so promising, and I can't, the Gladiator scene. I'm looking forward to Gladiator Hulk and Gladiator Thor. I think that'll be cool. I actually like who's playing Valkyrie. She looks like she's cool. I know the actress from Westworld, which we'll get into that later. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm giddy about it. I cannot wait. But the trailer that owned San Diego Comic-Con, but was sadly not released publicly, Avengers Infinity War. Oh my lord. Avengers Infinity War. It's gonna be so hard. I know a lot of people don't like comparing DC to Marvel, but it's gonna be so hard for DC to beat Marvel after Infinity War. I'm sorry. I mean, it was bad enough with Civil War. Now Infinity War, literally every hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is coming out so far. I mean, wow. It kind of sucks that the Netflix heroes won't be on the silver screen, but I can live with it. I'd love to see, a Daredevil and Spider-Man movie. That would be awesome. A Daredevil and Punisher movie would be amazing, dude. Can you imagine that? Oh Lord, that would be great, dude. Because Daredevil and Punisher, Punisher's first appearance was in Spider-Man. Spider-Man issue number 129, I believe, was the first appearance of the Punisher. So, it should be, that would be awesome, man. To see Punisher back with Spider-Man, because those two are always going at it and stuff. Yeah, issue number 129 is the first appearance of the Punisher. Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 129, I'm sorry. That would be awesome, but of course, they're not bringing the Netflix characters in anytime soon. But anyways, back on topic, the Avengers Infinity War trailer was great. I have to admit, I kind of saw it through the grapevine because, there's always those people that are going to record when they're told not to and whatnot, just like people do it during a movie. They did it for a trailer, and if I saw it because curiosity killed the cat. I screamed when I saw it, man. Like, oh God. You have Thor in space meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy for the first time. Who are you? Like, I cannot wait to see, I want to see that. Finally those two, not really like franchise, but the Guardians of the Galaxy are finally going to be like the Avengers characters, and that's going to be great. You have scenes with Iron Man as Star-Lord. It should be great. And Iron Man and Iron Man and Doctor Strange, Marvel made Doctor Strange watchable, because in my opinion, Doctor Strange is a boring character. I'm sorry if I offended anybody by saying that, but Doctor Strange is boring, and Marvel made him viewable. So we'll see how that goes with that, but I'm looking forward to it. And then you have, what else did you have? Black Widow's blonde now, so that should be interesting. I don't know why she turned blonde, but maybe it's a change in her character. Maybe it's to signify change. Seeing Captain America again, this time with a beard. Oh, this should be pretty cool, man. I'm guessing Captain America's rogue still with his rogue set of Avengers, I'm assuming. So, I'm really looking forward to the reuniting of Iron Man and Captain America when, they let bygones be bygones and they just kick Thanos' ass. And seeing Thanos use the Infinity Gauntlet, wow, man! The shot wasn't clear, but it looked like he blew up a moon or a planet in the background and literally launched it at the Avengers. That's gonna look glorious. It's gonna look brutal, and it's gonna look glorious. And it's sad to say that Vision's gonna die. Vision's gotta die in this one. As much as it sucks, as much as sad as it's gonna see him go, because he's actually a pretty cool character. He's gotta die. He's gotta get that soul gem. Or is it the mind gem? I don't know. I kind of get mixed up with the Infinity Gem sometimes. But it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be. I can guarantee you this is gonna be an emotional movie. With some comedic elements, but emotional. Oh, how can I forget? Spider-Man wearing the spider armor. Ooh. Okay, now, I have to admit, I saw spider armor at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming. I really kind of just was like, I'm glad he kept his suit. But, Comic-Con really kicked it. I have to admit, Comic-Con this year was kind of... I didn't go or attend, but from what I saw, Comic-Con was kind of a little bit... disappointing. It's sad to say, but it sometimes seemed a little bit disappointing at first. It wasn't until like the second day when we got the Justice League trailer, and then a couple hours later we got the Thor Ragnarok trailer, which was great. I'm so happy that we got that. But then evening the next morning, I wake up to find the Infinity War trailer online. So I mean, it wasn't until like the second and third day that it got good. It seemed, so it probably better for those who attended, but for us in the sidelines, nah, it wasn't. It wasn't that spectacular. In my opinion, the Comic-Con with Force Awakens was way better, because there you had the panel with, everybody, Carrie Fisher, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, everybody, It was cool to see them back in action. As many of you probably know, the new It trailer released yesterday. And it's getting a lot of hype, the movie, I guess, because everybody kind of grew up with It. I don't know how I feel about this It movie. I mean, I'm not saying that it looks bad. But it looks like it's just trying to make it into a modern horror movie, which sucks. It looks like it's going for a shock and, scare value instead of a story, which in reality is what the original, 3-part miniseries, I believe it was 3-part, unless it was 2-part. Well, anyways, the miniseries originally did. It was more of a story than it was scare. Granted, it kept in the scare, it kept in the frights, and it kept in the chills amazingly. Whereas this one, it looks like it's just going for more scare than story, which is sad to say because I love It. I love Pennywise and everything. And I'm sorry, but I grew up with the original Pennywise. I love the original Pennywise. He was scary, he was creepy, and he was downright hilarious in the darkest of ways. This one looks like he's just screaming and running and everything, the boat scene where the boat falls through the, if you've already seen it, but if you're not, it doesn't have that same shock value, it just doesn't feel as heavy as a scene as the other one, and it kind of sucks, Am I going to see the movie? You can bet that I will see this movie. Am I looking forward to it? You can bet that I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that it's a good movie and that it focuses on story and scare value, and it's a good remake of the original. And hopefully the end creature isn't a giant spider, because let's face it, that was pretty corny. Even as great as it was, the giant spider sucked. It wasn't that good. I hope it's kind of a love letter to new horror movies. Granted, this is actually, I think this year has been a pretty good year for horror movies, actually. You had Split. I believe Split was this year. You had Get Out, which is another good film. I mean, it's been pretty good for horror. I mean, I don't consider those two really horror. Those are more thriller and suspenseful. But, I mean, it's been pretty nice for horror, because last year wasn't that good. I think last year, though, The Conjuring 2 came out, and that was phenomenal. So we'll see how it goes for horror. But I don't know. Maybe it will be good. Maybe it will be terrible. I went to the movies though recently, and I actually saw Dunkirk. Now I really, really love Christopher Nolan movies, except for Inception. Granted, I love the cinematography, the story, and the acting and everything about Inception, but I found Inception way too confusing to enjoy. I'm sorry, it was way too confusing to enjoy. Interstellar, I loved. The Dark Knight trilogy, can I really say anything about that? I freaking love the Dark Knight trilogy. So, I mean, I love Christopher Nolan as a director. So I went into Dunkirk with high expectations and really looking forward to it. I mean, I realized that the movie was about an hour and 40 minutes or so. So it's kind of like an hour and 40 minutes for a Christopher Nolan movie. Okay, maybe this could be still good. So it kind of threw me off guard. And then I go into the movie, and the movie goes on, and there's not a single word said. Keeps going on. It's maybe 10 lines at most. And it goes on and on and on. And then it ends with maybe a total of 200, 300 lines. Not that many. I'm probably even exaggerating. The movie has almost zero dialogue to it. Now, to do a movie with very little dialogue is a very, very risky thing to do. It either works or it doesn't. In this case, it's kind of both. Okay? It works because the movie focuses on set pieces. The movie focuses on spectacle. Okay? If you like atmosphere, if you like the soundtrack, if you like, sounds, and just overall the atmosphere of a movie, you can somewhat guess how the characters are by what they say. But other times you're kind of just like, okay, this character, I guess, is just the pilot. This character is just trying to get off the island, off the beach and stuff. You know what I mean? So I have to say, in the case of Dunkirk, this movie has zero character development. It really does. As zero to none character development and characterization. Not to say that they were terrible, but you really don't care for the characters at all in this movie. I mean, you don't. Maybe just for one character on a boat, but that's about it. You don't feel for the characters. If somebody dies, you're not like, man, that sucks. No, you're just like, nah, okay. Move on to the next set piece. And I mean, it kind of sucks, especially for a Christopher Nolan movie, because a Christopher Nolan movie has characterization always, and a good narrative and set pieces and everything. And I have to admit, I mean, this is better than Inception in my opinion, but entertaining. I don't know if a lot of you know, but there's this show on HBO called Westworld meets. It's pretty freaking good, I mean, a lot of people might find it boring. I did not. I was into this show 100%. I was devoted. I finished it. I loathed it. I love it. Okay. The characters are great. Anthony Hopkins' character, Ford, he's one mean dude, and he plays it so well. He shows it, but it's not in his voice. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't do anything. He talks and he speaks. It's like Hannibal Lecter almost, but not as creepy and not as scary and not as evil, but it's still pretty good. And this show will mess your mind up. You will be suspecting something, and this show will completely wrap it around, twist and turn everywhere. It is just great. The story is very, very good over the span of 10 episodes. And it really, really leaves you wanting a season 2, which thankfully season 2 is coming out spring 2018. Let's rejoice. In fact, that's actually one of the trailers I forgot to mention at Comic-Con, Westworld 2. It wasn't much of a trailer as it was a teaser, but still, for what it was, it got me giddy, it got me excited, and I cannot wait for Westworld season 2. If you love suspenseful shows, if you love shows with hate to say the word again, with dialogue and not that much action, but a great story, and to where it'll twist your mind up and chew it up and spit it out, you will absolutely love Westworld. I highly recommend Westworld. It is one of my favorite shows that I've seen in a long time. It definitely deserves the 20 or so Emmy nominations that it got. Hopefully, this show better win some Emmys. That's all I know. Not only that on HBO, but Game of Thrones is back. Winter is here, everybody. We've had 2 episodes so far for Game of Thrones. And it kind of sucks that, now think about it, there's only 5 episodes left this season. It's only 5 more episodes, and then it ends next season. So it kind of sucks. But I'm really liking this season so far. They're finally bringing characters together after 6 seasons. Now it's on the 7th. They're finally bringing characters together. Jon Snow and Daenerys are going to meet, and it's going to look great. Fire and ice are going to meet people. This will be glorious. That will be a day long remembered. That's going to be one of the most iconic scenes in TV. I am telling you right now, make sure you record it because you're going to love it. This will be great. I'm assuming, I don't know if this season's going to focus on taking down the White Walkers more than taking down Cersei. But I think it's focusing more on the White Walkers. And I think that'll be great to finally see the war against the White Walkers. The battle, more like. So that should be great. Especially being the fact that fire and ice might band together against the White Walkers and then band together against Cersei. I cannot wait. I mean, I cannot contain my excitement for this show. I mean, I'm just so looking forward to the story. I just want to see where it takes us. So, it's pretty much it for about TVs and shows. Now I'm going to kind of move. I've been recently playing this game called Dark Souls. For those of you that don't know, Dark Souls is an action RPG standing for role-playing game. And Dark Souls is a series notorious for being some of the hardest games ever produced. And I'm playing it. It's my second Dark Souls game. I played Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the Sin Edition, I believe. Scholar of the Sin Edition. Something like that for Xbox One. I got stuck with like these giants, and I never got past it. I hated it, and I never wanted to play it again. And then Xbox decides to go, hey, holy hey, here's a sale. Dark Souls 1 is only like $10. So I got it, and I played it a while back. I got it a while back, and I got to the Taurus Demon. Taurus Demon is this giant boss, the second boss in the game. And I stopped playing it because I got fed up. So I didn't play it for a long time. All of a sudden, I have the audacity to pick up the controller and try it out again. And lo and behold, I was having fun. I was having fun for some reason. Some sadistic reason, I was having fun with Dark Souls. Okay. However, I'm still stuck in the same part with that damned Taurus Demon. Okay. Now, just to lay it out for you, the Taurus Demon is big. But it's not him that's hard. It's more the environment. Okay. You're fighting him. Okay. The lead up to it is pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie. I have these things called Estus flasks, which heal you. They're like healing potions. Okay. So I use maybe like 2 of them just leading up to the boss, okay? You know, so I start at a bonfire and I lead, the bonfire being the spawn and the checkpoint where you fill up the flasks and where you can regain health. However, each time you go to a bonfire, all the enemies in the game respawn except for bosses. You don't know how annoying that is. Okay. So you go over there, you know, you're killing skeletons and, you know, I used 2 flasks and everything. Okay. I'm going up to the demon and right behind you, like you're going up a set of stairs and you enter this like walkway. It's kind of like the Great Wall of China type of walkway. It's kind of like that, all destroyed and everything. You go behind you and there's a tower and up there is 2 skeleton archers. You know, those are very easy to kill, but you want to kill them because if you don't, they will be bothering you with this Taurus Demon. And not only that, but that tower is very strategic to this battle. Okay, so you walk further down the Great Wall of China, we'll call it. And then out pops the Taurus Demon, okay, on a Great Wall of China. Now, you have to remember, the Great Wall of China is very, very narrow. It's a very narrow walkway. You don't have that much room. And this thing's like, I could say 10 feet tall, even more than that. It's one big mamma jamma, okay? Actually, it's bigger than 10 feet. It's maybe like 20 feet. It's pretty freaking huge. Anyway, so you're in this narrow walkway. There's not that much space to, you know, dodge and roll around. So the way you're supposed to defeat him, well, the most effective way to defeat him is you climb up top the tower, and there's like part of the walling, and let's say walling, kind of like the guardment to keep you from falling off is broken to where you can leap off and you can do a plunge attack or a falling attack, jump attack, I guess. And you do that maybe, I want to say 4 times to the Taurus Demon, and he'll die. It doesn't seem that hard, but I can get past the first 2. And then just a couple days ago, I was able to get past the first 3. And I'm on the last one, and I get excited, and I get, you know, I don't know why, I start playing recklessly. and it kills me every single time. And it really, you have no idea how annoying that is to die right as you're about to defeat a boss. I mean, I've heard Dark Souls is supposedly one of the most rewarding games, and you really feel good whenever you defeat a boss. I know that because I defeated one boss in the game, and I haven't been able to defeat anymore. But I am determined. I am determined to defeat this boss. You hear me. At some point in this podcast, before it ends, before this world ends, before this show ends, you will hear that I defeated the Taurus demon, and that I got stuck on some other part of the game. But progress, people. Progress is key. Okay? That's basically how he looks. So does Reinhardt. Reinhardt has a charge ability that does the exact same thing. Doomfist charges into Reinhardt's shield and brings it down in one hit. Doomfist charges into Reinhardt when Reinhardt charges, and you both get stunned. Doomfist right now is the bane to my existence. I'm happy he's in the game. I love playing as him, but I hate him at the same time. Like, you have no idea the burning passion I have for Doomfist. It is terrible. But he's pretty fun to play as, you know. The first game I played, there's this game mode that they added called 6v6 Doomfist Elimination. And their elimination is kind of like, I guess you could say, search and destroy a Call of Duty, meaning you die, and that's it for that round. You know what I mean? You wipe out the entire team. And whoever wipes out the entire team first wins the round. And then you go for 3 rounds. Whoever wins 3 rounds first. I want to say the third round, we lost. We won the first round. The second round we lost, and then the third round, everybody on my team dies, and I'm kind of just laying back. I'm sitting back. I'm still shooting and supporting them, but everybody on my team dies. I go in, not knowing how to play Doomfist at all, and there's maybe like about 5 people left on their team out of the 6. I managed to kill every single one of them, and at one point there was 2 people fighting against me. I killed both of them somehow, and then there was 2 left. I killed one that was sneaking up behind me, and then the other one I fought head on, and I just managed to kill them all. And I have to admit, that was a very, very satisfying feeling to get that 5-man with a character that I've never played as before. You know, it's a very gratifying feeling. Which, I mean, a lot of you who are listening probably don't know what Overwatch is or played Overwatch, but those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. And that's pretty much it for gaming. The next portion, I'm going to be talking about figures, meaning toys. Now, there's these toys called Hot Toys. Okay? Hot Toys are amazingly done figures. Now, sometimes they have their mishaps. You know, they're not very well done. But otherwise, they're pretty good. And I recently got into collecting Hot Toys after so many years. I finally got my own Hot Toys for Christmas last year. You know, I got the Force Awakens Hot Toys figures for Christmas, and then I got an original, the first movie Avengers set, you know, the 6 main characters. So I was pretty happy, and I really, really love Hot Toys, and I look forward to purchasing more. So, I mean, they released every Comic-Con, they show off new Hot Toys figures, and this year was kind of, I mean, the movies coming out are Thor Ragnarok, Justice League. They didn't have anything for Black Panther. Valerian, which I heard is terrible, by the way. I don't know why they made figures for that. Just kick that out. What else did they get? Oh, and some new Star Wars figures. Now, starting off with the Justice League, you have Cyborg, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Superman, and Aquaman. You have actually 2 versions of Batman, I believe. You have a regular version of Batman, and then you have like this kind of like new tactical suit that Batman wears in the movie. And I have to admit, they look pretty good. You know, especially together, they look really good. Now, granted, the Hot Toys Wonder Woman has been released. Okay, it's released, and what they did was they put it on a seamless body because Wonder Woman is very revealing. You know, not upper section, just like with skin. It's very, very revealing. You know, elbows, knees, everything. So they completely made it 100% seamless. which sounds good on paper. It sounds great on paper, but it was done terribly. I mean, from what I've seen, if you pose the figure long enough, it will create seams and creases in the kind of like fake rubberized skin, which is very bad when you're paying $200+ for that figure. You know, it's pretty bad. So I'm hoping this Justice League version is way better. I'm hoping they fix their mistakes. So let's hope for that. But they look pretty good. Star Wars, going with Star Wars, they finally have a Tarkin. Let's hear some applause. They finally have a Hot Toys Tarkin figure. He's not released yet, obviously, but they're finally making one. Finally making him. And it's about time. You know, he's a big part of A New Hope and also a big part of Rogue One. So, I mean, they better have made him. You know what I mean? I'm glad they're making him. He looks phenomenal. And I know that my dad will definitely be getting a Star Wars set just to have Tarkin. I can guarantee you. And I look forward to seeing him out of package and everything. I look forward to seeing him up close in my hands. So that should be very, very cool. Thor Ragnarok has some kind of cool figures. They have a Gladiator Hulk, which the Hot Toys Hulk is pretty staggering height. So you're seeing him with the Gladiator armor. It looks pretty cool. Granted, I know my dad won't be purchasing this Hulk, as I will not be purchasing this Hulk, because we already have Hulks and we have no interest in getting the Gladiator armor, because it looks like the Gladiator armor is only going to appear for about one scene in the movie. So it looks cool, but we're not going to be purchasing that. The same goes for the Thor. The Thor looks great in the Gladiator suit, and there's one in the Gladiator suit and then the one without it. Like kind of like a regular looking Thor before all the everything that happens before his hammer breaks. It looks like in the trailer, and that one looks cool. It does. It looks really cool. But the Gladiator and also the Gladiator Thor looks cool. But once again, we will not be purchasing these. Well, I can't speak for my dad that much. I can kind of speak for him, but I know I will not be wanting these because while they look cool, I'm just not into that Gladiator look. You know what I mean? It looks cool and everything, and I'm sure it'll be an amazing scene in the movie and stuff, and a great scene, but that spending about $200 for that kind of figure, or that figure, no thank you. You know, you're getting a new Loki, though. The Loki looks pretty cool. It's not the Avengers Loki, though. It's a new suit and everything, so it's kind of like, do I get the Loki to put him in my Avengers set? Do I not? I don't know. We'll see I'll have to see how he looks. I think they're making a Valkyrie. I don't know about a Valkyrie. I know they're making Hela. And she looks cool. I mean, I don't know nothing about the character. And I guess we'll have to see how she is in the movie. But from what I've seen, you know, figure-wise, she looks pretty cool, and character design-wise, I like the way she looks. But that's pretty much it for Hot Toys. I mean, they really have some good reveals, but in reality, that's pretty much about it. At least it popped out in my mind. They're probably different for some of you, but for me, that was pretty much it. Marvel Legends should have a pretty good year. Any of you who know me, you know that I love collecting Marvel Legends. And any of you who don't, I love Marvel Legends. Granted, I love Hot Toys, but the main thing I collect is Marvel Legends. You know, comic or movie. It all depends on what I enjoy. But it looks like there's some good comic figures coming out, some good Walgreens exclusives. They're finally redoing the Fantastic Four. I got the Sue Storm, the new Walgreens exclusive Sue Storm, aka Invisible Woman, and they're making a Reed Richards and a Human Torch for that. So that should be great. They're having a Deadpool wave with a new Deadpool. I have the Deadpool from the X-Men wave that came out this last year. So, I mean, I probably will not be getting this Deadpool. What else is there? The Thor Ragnarok wave looks amazing. There looks to be three solid movie figures in the wave and 3 comic figures, to which I will not be... Well, I'll have to actually get the whole thing because the Build-A-Figure is the Gladiator Hulk. And while I may not get the Hot Toys for Gladiator Hulk, you can bet that I will get that for my Marvel Legends because I am a completionist when it comes to my Marvel Legends. At least with the cinematic universe. But there's those, and then I think those were like the only kind of big reveals that came out. they're releasing the Netflix wave of Marvel Legends with the Daredevil, Punisher, Elektra, and Jessica Jones as the Netflix characters, plus Bullseye and a Blade. So, I mean, that looks pretty cool. The Build-A-Figure Swamp Thing, so I have no desire to get the whole wave. I will just get the 4 Netflix characters because I love the shows. Not really Jessica Jones that much, but Daredevil I do. In fact, I still need to finish Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist before Defenders comes out. But that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. I hope that all of you who listened all the way through, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't listen all the way through, I still hope you enjoyed this. This should be a very, very fun thing. I mean, I actually had fun. I can't believe I've been talking here for about an hour. I haven't done that before, so it's kind of cool. We'll see how it goes. Of course, I will plan it better. This was kind of just like off the cuff, just random thoughts in my head. I will plan it better. Hopefully, I see more movies, have more movie reviews and stuff in it. I finally figured out my schedule, though. It is going to be every Friday for every week. Maybe there'll be some exceptions to where I'll have like 2 episodes in a week, plus, of course, every Friday. Maybe one earlier in the week. Never know. Something happens. Something pops up. Something great happens. You can guarantee it. Other than that, I hope you really, really enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me any tips that you have, any thoughts that run through your head. Maybe you can include it in here. Maybe I can include it in the next episode. But other than that, this has been Comic Kid Guru. I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, may the Force be with you.